Welcome, everyone, to our prayer journey with My Tote Daily Devotion. What would you do if you had found an ancient text written in Hebrew, which was the first gospel, likely from the very first century? Wouldn't that be an amazing find? You would probably get your own documentary. I don't particularly believe that we are being visited by aliens. If we're being visited by anything, I think it's Satan and his angels. But I like watching the shows Ancient Aliens. How could they've cut these things out? How could they have done these particular things that are so amazing and seem past the capability of the people of that time? Ancient animals. You see animals that you say, wow, they really did exist. And ancient technologies like the batteries found that lit inside of the Egyptian pyramids. Amazing things. How did they move the rocks around at Stonehenge? All those things are very interesting. But to find a gospel tract, the good news tract of Jesus Christ from the first century would be an amazing find. And this is what's going to be happening over the last few years. Actually, over the past decades. They have been finding new manuscripts written in Hebrew. So now you have a Greek New Testament, and you find that there's also a Hebrew New Testament. They even found some in Arabic. An amazing thing about these is that they're almost identical with some nuances. And this is why I'm bringing this up as what I think was a first century gospel tract. It's from the book of Romans. If you look at Romans 1:16, it says, "For I am not ashamed of the gospel of God, of Christ, for it is power unto God for salvation to everyone that believe, the Jew first, and also the Greek." Now, years ago when I was a kid, I said, was it only for the Greeks when I first got saved? And somebody explained to me, no, it's for the Gentiles. But now they're finding these new manuscripts. So I was in a class where they were talking about these new manuscripts that they're finding in Hebrew, and they're going into the words, and it was amazing. And they were speaking about this verse in Romans 1:16. So I raised my hand. I said, I got a question for you. Where are you finding these new manuscripts? I figured they were pulling them out of caves. And then with that, the scholar that was working on these manuscripts said to me, well, believe it or not, they've been coming and they've been found for thousands of years. They've been sitting in the libraries, but because the gospel was written in Greek and it's a Western civilization, they were put into the basement in many cases. So what did they do? They would convert the Koine Greek into the Bible that we read today. So when they started to study the Hebrew, they find clarifications. For example, this particular scholar went to this verse here, 1:16, because he knew there were some questions about different manuscripts on what it said. And here's what he found. In certain areas in Hebrew, it doesn't say Greek. It says Arab. In other places, it says another locality. So the end of the verse was this: to everyone that to believe it, to the Jew is always first, but also the Greek, the Arab, and whatever else they may have found. But it's a personal gospel tract to the individuals of a given area. They had at least 3 different ones in which that is the only thing changed. See, the gospel is for everybody. It's for the Jew first. If you're Jewish and looking in, Yeshua is your Messiah. For the Jew first. But the gospel is also for the Greek, the Englishman, the Hungarian, the pro-abortion. It is for everybody. God is leaving the door open for any who would come. It says in this very same book, if you confess with your mouth the Lord Jesus and believe in your heart that God has raised him from the dead, thou shalt be saved. Today could be that day. If you're interested, check out the body of this video and find out how you can know Jesus Christ. So until next time, may Jesus increase as we decrease.